All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome and happy Tuesday. Tuesday it is, guys. It's actually we're 1 week away from kicking off Light It Up Expo. It technically doesn't start till Wednesday, but we've got some pre-show classes that are starting Tuesday. And I gotta say, I am shocked. I am surprised at the amount of demand we have for these pre-show classes. Most of them are full. So, like, if you're like, oh, I really want to come and I want to do a pre-show class, like might not happen. I might be able to squeeze you in, but they're honestly like so full. We have over 160 people registered for a pre-show class. Might be 180 between landscape lighting, permanent lighting, advanced holiday lighting, and outdoor audio. Over 160 people registered for pre-show classes, and that's just something we threw in for free. Like that's not even part of the expo. So I'm like, damn it, I think we're going to have to make that part of the expo next year. But that was just like, we had some people asking and like, yeah, you know what, let's just add more value. But technically the expo starts next Wednesday, the 4th. These pre-show classes start the 3rd. And I'm just excited. It's like I've been planning this thing for basically 11 and a half months now. And I'm sure my team is exhausted and they're ready to get it over with. But it's just going to be a great time. So we're doing these quick lives just to help promote some of our speakers and vendors and stuff like that. We're so grateful for the support of all of our vendors, our sponsors, our speakers. The lineup, you guys, is going to be sick. Today, I'm joined by Jess Reagan with RepCard. Jess, thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks so much, man. It's good to be here.
Well, I'm particularly excited to have you guys part of Light It Up this year for a couple reasons. Number one, you're helping us out with our I guess I don't know how to word it. You probably know a better way, but our registration, our vendor and attendee interactions, and that's really cool. I'm excited for that. But also, you guys are a new vendor, and that's important to us because we want to make sure that we're providing like the cutting edge technologies, the vendors, like the newest thing out there for lighting companies. Do me a favor, just a quick introduction of who you are and what RepCard does.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ryan. So Jess Reagan, and it's spelled Reagan, by the way. So that's generally
Damn
what people,
I always forget to ask.
You're like in the moment.
And then I'm like, we were talking before the show, like, do you like just go live? Well, the problem if you go live is you always make mistakes, and you just have to be okay with that.
Oh, no,
damn it! Why didn't I ask him how to say his name?
Yeah, I get Jesse, Jeff, all that stuff too. So Ryan, I've been in the home service industry for the last 20 years. So before building out tech, I was building teams for a few different verticals: roofing, solar, home automation, pest control. And through that time, I've had an awesome opportunity to go from just a regular old sales rep, just out pounding the pavement, all the way up to helping to manage and run a $1 billion company and 3,000 sales reps. And so just really, really grateful for that road and that experience.
Wow.
That's and huge. That led me into technology, where I was a founder of a home service tech that, I exited a couple months ago. And so now we're moving into RepCard, which is, I came over as a CRO about 3 months ago. Brad Mortensen, our founder, as most of you know, is an incredible human being. And I was really looking for a place to land with a great team. And the first thing that I noticed was, their symbol, the boomerang. Of course, we do digital business cards and some other things that we'll talk about. But the motto that we have on the inside of every hat, same with our clothing, it says, do good and it'll come back. And so we talk about that as the booma effect, right? Like where a lot of people would call that karma. If you do good, it'll come back. And so for me, the foundation of RepCard and the reason why I'm here is just good people, a good company. We've built things the right way. And so when we get to work with home service companies and we can say, we bootstrap this, we're profitable, like even as a tech company, we come in at the same place. And Brad's the same way. He's been in home services forever. And so hopefully we can connect with you on that and help your business. So that's just, me in a nutshell. The other important part, of course, is that I have 3 beautiful daughters and a wife. And that's my, that's the purpose, right? That's the reason I do this.
Dude, congrats, man. It sounds
So
like you've already lived an awesome life, and it sounds like you're still energized, like you're just getting started.
that's what it feels like. Yeah. Like it might be ADD.
Yeah.
It might just be that I can't. No, I'm just kidding. It's this opportunity to, like, when you have good opportunities and you can kind of continue to promote something that you believe in. Um, for example, with RepCard, you mentioned event registration and event management. Some people know us from that space, right? Like, you might show up to a conference, you get your lanyard and all of that, and then you interact with RepCard that way. Some people know us as our namesake, the digital business card, where we have, tap bracelets and tap cards, and you hand out your digital business card, and just like the boomerang, you put out your digital card. There's an automated follow-up process. So Ryan, if I gave you my digital card and you open that up later to view my details, it would tell me that you opened the card. And then, if that's a potential customer, I can see, okay, cool, now's the time to interact. That's a warm lead. And then on the other side, it can enter you into a drip campaign. So now it's like I have automated follow-up, especially if I'm doing like a door-to-door system. I can send somebody my card, and then it's going to do automated follow-up for me. Now we've expanded that into what we call the sauce, which is the sales operating system. And it's the full process. It's the full gamut, everything you need for territory management, for gamification, leaderboards, training, estimates, all the things.
Dude, I love it, man. You got me thinking. I remember when like digital business cards first came out, and I thought it was the coolest thing because I was like, yeah, this makes sense because I have all these business cards that I gather, and then they sit on my desk until eventually I just throw them away. But it would take me like 9 months, sometimes like over a year before I'd throw them away. Cause I'm like, they're so valuable, but I never used them. So then I got a digital business card and I thought, oh, this is going to solve the problem. Well, it didn't. It just was like stored in my phone. And now I had like
Yeah.
lots of cool contacts of people that I'm never going to reach out to.
Yeah.
And so, gosh, I'm just thinking of like this, how much value you guys are going to inject into Light It Up Expo. And I know
Yeah.
that this is just kind of like the start. Like you just mentioned a couple things, right? With these automated follow-ups and stuff like that. But that's huge. Like if we could just have those already done, like that's insane.
Well, and it's to your point, like, you have such a good point, because I don't know if you know Mitch Hedberg, who's a comedian, but like when he would see people on the road handing out flyers, it's like them saying, "Here, you throw this away." Right? Like, and it's the same thing with business cards, right? It's like, "Here, you throw this away." And so with the
Yeah, you
digital
throw mine
card,
away, I'll throw yours away. That sounds like a fair trade.
legitimately though, right? And so what we've done is, it's like, you need to be able to move that contact through a further process. And whether that's outreach, right? Like, where it's automated marketing and outreach, or we are actually acting as your sales operating system, to where now you can take it from a contact all the way through to the deal. And at some point, you might hand it off to a CRM or a tool like Jobber, House Call Pro, Service Titan. We tie into all of those. And so you can do a really smooth handoff without double entry. You can do all of your prospecting inside of RepCard and then do that. Or we have a lot of people that take it all the way through the entire process, and to where now today we're adding financing and payments and stuff like that.
Wow. I know I was looking through your app. I'm just like, dang, there's a lot of things that you guys offer. And I'm sure that might be one of the challenges. Like, you don't want to tell everyone everything because then they're like, well, where do I start? So
Right.
I
Right.
think the digital business card automated follow-up, I mean, that just makes sense. Like
Yeah.
everyone that attends Light Up Expo is going to be able to use that without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah. For event vendors, you can take, once you have your account set up, right, and you have a great experience at Light It Up, which we know you will, not only just the expo, but also, your experience with capturing leads and all that. Take it to your next show, take it to home shows, take it, use it as like a really, really great lead capture tool. And once you've set up your card and your process, it's really easy to be able to hand that out, share videos so they can kind of see like who you are as a business. You can get reviews and testimonials. And my favorite part about that is it acts as a filter. So if somebody leaves a 5-star review, you can shoot that over into Google. And so if they leave a 2-star review, you probably don't want it to go there, right? And so RepCard can kind of act as that filter. And to respond to what you said too, is like, yes, there's a lot, but there's really four categories that we work in, and that's recruit, train, sell, and market, right? There's like the 4 things that you need to do to have a full sales operating system. And so recruiting and onboarding, training, selling, and marketing. And so if you think of it that way, we break it down into those 4 categories, and then we have something for everybody in those categories.
That's awesome, man. Well, honestly, I'm really grateful and excited to have you guys there. For me, I'm the guy putting on the show. It's really important. Like we have so much support from like lighting manufacturers, distributors, like people that I've known in the industry for a long time. And so I was worried that it was just going to be like all of those. And then I'm like, but I need we need service. I call you guys service providers. Like we need your guys' help, because at the end of the day, like we're not just installing fixtures. You know what I mean? We're running customer service businesses here that happens to design and install really nice lighting. And really the more that we can tap into these offerings that you have, I mean, my goal is to help everyone build a business that can run without them. And quite frankly, that's not going to be possible if they're not partnering up with awesome companies like yours.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, we agree with you and really appreciate that. And I think you're doing such a good thing at a good time. Like the lighting industry is really exploding, especially with landscape and permanent lighting. And so I think, for you to be able to kind of lead in the forefront here, that's, it's pretty incredible timing, and we're excited to be a part of it. He said, let's see, I just saw that note come in. That's cool. Can it be set up for all my employees, but tracked by my office? Absolutely. So the way that we set up a hierarchy. And so there's a couple ways that we can do that, Rick. Is one, you can set up different offices. If maybe you're a parent company and you've got 4 or 5 offices, you can set it up that way. You can set it up as individual employees, and all of those, the numbers and contacts and everything rolls up into the company account. And so there's a lot of people where you're collecting all these leads. You don't want that to just be lost with the salesperson, especially if there's any turnover, right? And they might take those leads with them. It stays inside of the system. And then as the owner or the office, you can then manage those leads. You can send them marketing campaigns. You can interact with them or enter them into your CRM. So it's a great question, but we allow you to track employees by office. And the gamification and leaderboard part of that's really cool. Like I always like to say that scoreboards are more effective than speeches. And so like when you have a chance to actually see the data and see, where somebody's at on a leaderboard and what metrics are adding up to what conversion. So it's like if I have 10 conversations and I have 2 conversions from that, we can put all of that into RepCard so you can see that data.
Oh, that's cool, man. That is so cool. Well, I'm definitely sold on the tech and the service. Like it's freaking awesome. One thing I really appreciate about this conversation is when I asked you to introduce yourself, the first thing you said about RepCard wasn't like, oh, we do digital business cards. Like you actually touched on the boomerang, and you touched on like do good and it will come back. And I just want to tell people, like I saw this firsthand. I was across from you guys at D2D Con last month, and it was so crazy because I saw the hats and I didn't really know. I was like, is that like a 7? Like I didn't know it was a boomerang at first. And but it was weird because it was like it started with like 5 people in the booth, and then all of a sudden like there was like 10 hats, and then there was like 20 hats, and then there was like 500 hats, and like people loved the culture. I'm like, like that was like, to me, it's like, again, the tech's great, all this other stuff, but like what you're talking about is real. Because I could see that, and then I thought, how many people work for RepCard? It felt like there was like 1,000 employees walking around this show, helping people out. And I didn't know who was helping who, because literally I think there was now, in retrospect, like I think there was literally like contractors, like your clients helping other people. And I thought they worked for your company.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like we work really hard to take good care of our people, and it's for how many customers we have a really dedicated team to doing exactly what you say, Ryan, and it just starts with the people that are running the company care a lot about this industry. Like we've built these businesses. We know how difficult it is. We know how hard it is to get out on the grind every single day and to build a home service business from the ground up. And the network effect is real, and we want to pass that on too, right? Like where when our customers come in and they talk to us about recruiting and retention and building sales teams, all of those things interact with our culture to help them build theirs. And I teach a whole thing on, systems are actually what build culture. It's not
Mhm.
necessarily what's just written on the wall. It's like it's the systems that build culture. And that's why our whole motto is focused around the sauce. And we have an AI role play tool that we call Saucy. Like we're taking that to the next level. So
That's cool. Yeah, that's sweet. Well, all good stuff, man. I just want to remind you guys, if you are, I think we literally have like 6 tickets left to sell at Light It Up
that's
Expo.
awesome.
So like
Congrats.
it's sold out, that's cool. Thank you. If you missed out on the pre-show classes, I think we might still have a couple spots in outdoor audio and advanced holiday lighting training. But even if you guys missed out on it, like you still need to be in the room. Again, like we weren't even planning on having that be part of the experience. And so when the show kicks off Wednesday, it's Wednesday 2 to 7 is the trade show. And then Thursday morning, we kick off early. We have speakers from 8 a.m. till I think like 10:30, and then we have 3 more hours of trade show, and then we have speakers until like 5 or 6 or something like that, and then all day Friday. Like when that kicks off, like you're not going to regret like, oh man, like I probably shouldn't have come because I couldn't make it into a pre-show class. Like there's going to be so much value delivered in the 3 days that the expo is actually supposed to be. Don't let that deter. I've had some people like, I don't know, like the whole reason I was coming was for that. I'm like, but you kind of missed the point. The point is to come build relationships, learn about the new service providers out there, learn about the tools that are literally at your fingertips that can help you like just crush it in business. And it is hard to own a business no matter what, but it's way more difficult when you're on your own, when you don't know about RepCard, when you don't know about like the latest and greatest. It's going to be nearly impossible to win in this game because there's going to be 250 people there, 250 companies that are leveling up. And if they're in your market, if they're your competitor, like, I don't know what to tell you because there's going to be some massive, massive leveling up next week. So, Jess Regan, I appreciate you, man.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. It's good to be here. Proximity is power, like to your point, for those of you who haven't decided to go yet or who are still looking, it sounds like there's a few tickets left. The proximity part, like I think what most people don't realize outside of the classes, like you mentioned, is going to the event, not just meeting the vendor, but also seeing the speakers. You get this belief built into you, right? It's a belief system that I can do this. I can build a big company. You're seeing, these other successful lighting companies that are out there. And so I would say just that proximity in and of itself is worth going. And so I appreciate you having me on, Ryan, and hope to do it again.
Absolutely. The other reason I'm stoked is because you're in Utah. So
Yes, sir.
it's rare, Sometimes we have to fly across the world to meet someone, but
Yep.
look forward to hanging out in Utah and we'll grab lunch and looking forward to collaborating with you guys. For me, like I said, I'm not trying to sell tickets to an expo. I'm not trying to sell vendors or sponsors to a 3-day expo. It has nothing to do with that. It's about building a movement. It's about really building a community and making sure that the lighting industry gets better and better every single year. So couldn't do it without your guys' support. And like I said, I'm extremely grateful. So guys, if you already got your ticket, we'll see you next Tuesday, next Wednesday, whenever you get there. It is going to be a blast. I'm just so stoked for this event. And thanks again, Jess. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks.
All right. See you, everybody.